In just over 48 hours in August, half the teams in the Pokal de Junioren came, saw, and didn't conquer. They took one look and realized this wasn't their year. Now 32 teams remain. Half of them will move forward, and the other half will be left behind by the end of the day today. And here in Dortmund, will it be Borussia Dortmund taking another step forward, or will the rules of the Cup demand a wild winner in the name of St. Pauli? We will find out today as the U19 Cups moves into round number 2. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm Kai Dombach, and welcome to Paradise in the Fußballpark Hohenbuchstai. Well, if you're going to be in North Rhine-Westphalia in autumn, this is about as good as the weather is going to get for a while. We had some rain earlier today, but the rain has stayed away for the last couple of hours. Temperatures are around 12 degrees Celsius or 53 degrees Fahrenheit or 285 Kelvin for you chemistry nerds, with gale force wind warnings throughout the entire state. Fun times in Dortmund Disneyland. Okay, it might not have the iconic plastic mouse ears, but two of the most iconic clubs in Germany have sent out their best U19 squad today. St. Pauli started off the season very busy, including the 2-0 win in the first round over Werder Bremen, playing 6 matches in August. But they trotted out onto the pitch just once last month. They're currently in 4th place with 7 points in Group A in league play, and they'll need to double their point total over the next 2 months if they'll want to keep going in the league. Now, as for Borussia Dortmund, it's been a wild and wonderful start to their domestic campaign. They started off the season with 3 consecutive 4-0 victories, capped off with a 4-0 win in Aachen in the first round of the Cup. And their dominant streak continued with 4 wins in their next 5 domestic matchups, with just a late-minute goal by Essen preventing Dortmund from winning every one of their 9 domestic matches. But Dortmund was brought back to earth on Wednesday right here when they hosted Juventus in UEFA Youth League play, falling for the first time this season in a 4-0 loss. All 4 of those goals came in the final 40 minutes, so we will see if Dortmund can turn it around now that they're facing opponents within the country's confines. So St. Pauli going to go from right to left to get things started, wearing their all-white trim. Borussia Dortmund in their traditional black and yellow going to go from left to right in the opening 45 minutes of the second round contest of the Pokal de Junioren here in Dortmund. And the head referee, Marvin Konopatsky, gets us started with the whistle, and St. Pauli gets going on the ball to get things started. Now, as for the starting 11 for these two sides, starting with St. Pauli, the visitors, you got Melvin Witte in goal, and in front of him, you've got Blettermann, Jönigkeit, Asiedu Ado, and Schmidtner right in front of him. Hermann and Grabovac in the midfield, and they've sent out 4 forwards. St. Pauli, Kaba, Vadius, Erolu, and Stuven, wearing number 19. Normally he wears number 11 this year. As we got a whistle at midfield, and that will be a foul, the first foul in the first minutes. And as for Borussia Dortmund on the ball now, Frueza in goal for the Bees. In front of him, Sena and Benkada and Reggiani and Aje. Those are the 4 defensive players. And now for the 3 midfielders, Faust, Farnhorst, and Duarte. And 3 forwards for Dortmund, Mirza, Ignazio, and Najdi. And Mirza had a wild game. He was a part of that U19 Germany versus England match in the pouring rain last month, and he got a hat trick in that, in 3 goals. And you'd think, if you have a guy who scores 3 goals in a game, you should win, right? Germany actually lost by 2. They lost 7-5 to England. Yeah, that's a real scoreline. That really did happen here in Germany just a few weeks ago. Just goes to show you never know what's going to happen in this sport until it happens. As Friesen knocks it over to his left side. And a lot of stuff going on here in Dortmund today as the senior squad also in action in 90 minutes, to be exact, playing against Leipzig in the big Signal Iduna Park. But nobody here really calls it by that name, as that passes trickled back to the keeper, and Witte couldn't control it off his left foot and behind the line for a corner. Not a great start for the St. Pauli keeper. No pressure on him. Just wasn't ready for the pass. He was lucky that he deflected the ball. Otherwise, that would have been a disastrous own goal for St. Pauli. So that puts the captain for Borussia Dortmund on the ball. Ready to go and keeps it short. Dortmund playing the possession off the corner. Now pushing it towards the middle of the 18, looking to turn, trying to find a chance, but St. Pauli gets in front, no danger there. And now St. Pauli sprinting the other way. On-man chance, and now everybody back for Dortmund. Just needed to make a quicker decision. Now St. Pauli gets back on the move. And that will be pushed out. St. Pauli still in control. So Borussia Dortmund here in Germany, they've had quite the start to their season. 19 points in 7 matches and a goal differential of plus 18. Just 5 goals allowed in 9 domestic matches so far this year. 2 in August, 3 in September. As that's a big giveaway, St. Pauli tries to cut through, and that will lead to a goal kick. Both sides with some good movement in front of goal, just not quite able to get a shot off either side. Big time press, a little bit too much for Konopatski's liking. It's like I said, a lot of stuff going on with Dortmund today. Of course, what you're watching right here, the U19s in the second round of the Cup, and not too terribly far away with public transportation. The senior squad going up against Leipzig in a big matchup in the Bundesliga. You know, gotta say that St. Pauli also doing pretty well in the Bundesliga this year. Defied some of the expectations last year when they were brought up. Some people thought that they would go right back down, but they've stuck around. And plenty of points clear of the drop. I mean, it's only October, but certainly something you have to keep in mind if you're not one of those top 2 or 3 squads. Putting it in the air this time a little bit too much. Not terribly windy right now, but we have had some wind warnings here in the States. So that's going to be something that everybody's going to think about every time they put the ball in the air. How much is that wind going to carry that ball? Not a bad idea on the ground, but Borussia Dortmund read that telegraph. And another back pass. Well, that one was more of an interception. But one more time, St. Pauli puts it behind their own end line, and that's another corner kick for Dortmund. This time from the near side. I mean, simply had to be done, though, as you saw the streaking forward and Najdi coming along on the right side. So Farnhorst will go back on the ball. His strong foot is actually his right. It likes to go with his left. Bounced around in front, and that's off the pipes. And grabbed out of the air. Big time stop from Elvin Witte, getting right in front of the shot and getting just enough to make it, to keep it a 0-0 game. Witte hasn't had a clean sheet this year, but with a moment like that, as we get to see it again on the replay, knocked around towards the far post, and Witte was right there, right in the nick of time. As that just fell right in front to Benkata. And you know that Benkata now is just kicking himself, as he was inside the 6-yard box, but he just couldn't finish it off. Now fired forward by Witte, and over everybody's heads and right into Friese's gloves. Friese was involved with the Youth League match earlier this week. Had some trouble there, giving up 4 goals. But he does much better this year. He's been doing much better when facing off against other German clubs. In 3 games played, he's allowed just 2 goals past him. Dortmund keeping control, keeping possession. Having to regroup, though, back at the midway stripe. Sent towards the corner flag. Good possession, good movement off the ball. And the throw-in will go to Dortmund. Great work there from Mirza. Got a few fans here, some of whom might be running over to the Signal Iduna Park as soon as this match is done. They might get there in time for the second half. But you know, also the women's handball team for Dortmund is in action right now. Has some good work there from Dortmund. But St. Pauli forces the black and yellow back into their own defensive half. But they have some ideas, Dortmund. And St. Pauli has been a little slow in reaction. Knocked out by St. Pauli, will stay with Dortmund. Quick movement, quick work for Dortmund. But we've got a whistle, and it looks like everything will be coming back, as there was an offside against the black and yellow. You know, these two teams have actually faced off before in the Cup right here 3 years ago this month. And believe it or not, St. Pauli was the winner 2-1. Max Marie, who's now with Braunschweig, scored the first goal on a direct free kick. And then to Kauschka, who later moved up to St. Pauli's B squad, knocked in the game winner. And now a member of the Eintracht Frankfurt senior squad, Namdi Collins, got the lone goal for Dortmund. But it was too little too late in second half stoppage time. So you see, I guarantee you're going to see at least one or two of these guys make it to the big time. Flag stays down here, but a little bit too far for the screaming striker. And now Freuze will take care of it and pick it up with his mitts. St. Pauli trying to apply the pressure, and they get the ball back right by the 18, slipped inside. And Borussia Dortmund manages to clear it. Some good work from Reggiani. Trying to keep an eye on Cabo right there. So some frustration from Felix Hirschnagel, but an illegal throw-in, as you saw the throw-in taker put his left foot beyond the line. So that gives the ball right to Dortmund. They really like to call those illegal throw-ins down here at the youth level. Want to make certain that everybody's doing it right. You don't see it too often on the senior level. But when you're still trying to learn exactly how to play with the big boys, you got to learn how to do it right. Here comes Dortmund. Ignazio fires it to the right side. Najdi still on it. Right at the 18, tries a cross, and it goes right into the protective fencing. That will be another corner, number 3 for Dortmund. Had a friend to his right, but wanted to take it himself. Valencina not used in that possession. This time, Faust fires it towards the far post. A little bit too high for everybody, but Dortmund still on the ball. Looking for a cross on the other side. In it comes, right in front, headed down by St. Pauli. And in control by Faust. Tries a shot with the left foot, but not the strongest of shots. And Witte will take care of it with ease. So you see Faust trying to go on that one-on-one. Everybody just letting those two go at it. Faust did get the shot off, but left much to be desired. Dortmund keeping it along on the far side. Now towards the end line, fired in the air. And the St. Pauli defense stands up tall once more, but given away inside the 18. And the shot is deflected, and we'll have a corner on the other side. Corner number 4 for Dortmund, not even 20 minutes in. Good placement from Ignacio. Just let his crew members apply the pressure, and he was just right there at the right time. St. Pauli having a lot of trouble getting it out of their defensive zone. Dortmund still on the attack at the corner of the 18, brought down from behind, but Konopatski says, let's keep playing. Tom Faust, slow to get back to his feet right there. As you see him cut inside the corner. But just an excellent job there from Schmidtna. Put his right foot in at the right time, got all the ball. But Dortmund on the move. Once again, until that St. Pauli clear goes the other way. Great hustle by Kaba, albeit all for naught. But certainly not afraid to apply the pressure on Reggiani. Kaba has had a couple of good sprints here in the opening 20 minutes. And if he just gets one touch, I think that will really change things for St. Pauli. That's all he needs, is just one little touch of magic. And St. Pauli can make things happen. But whenever Dortmund applies the press, it just gives St. Pauli fits as the rain starts to come down, and hard. 5 minutes ago, we had clear sunshine, and now we got a ferocious rain just coming down on everybody. So that's going to be another thing to think about here. The changing elements coming from the heavens. Will it be sun? Will it be rain? And what about the wind? Not so bad right now, but it has picked up on occasion earlier today. Now Dortmund keeping it along the ground, just letting it slide on the slick surface as the defender slides out of bounds into the box and knocked out for a corner. Dortmund applying the pressure and putting as much force on in front of goal as they can. So Fahrenhorst ready to go, using the left foot to the near post, and that's deflected and just picked up by Witte. Was looking for a stronger header, and now St. Pauli screaming forward. Two players on the left looking for possession, keeping it along the ground in front of the 18, and taken down from behind, and this time Konopatski blows the whistle. Quite the dangerous place for St. Pauli to get a free kick, and the wind starts to howl. Maybe the winds of change sending a message. An ominous message if you're a Dortmund fan. So Max Stuven coming on. Standing on the ball. He hasn't scored at all this year. Looks like a four-man wall for Dortmund as the rain slows down but still comes down. Stuven blasts it with his right foot well off target. Well, all that build-up, and Max Stuven just put a little bit too much power underneath the ball. So now it's St. Pauli's turn to apply the pressure. As the rain comes back down, anything that's not covered up will be drenched. Another day in paradise, huh? I mean, it's Germany in October. You can't exactly ask for everything you want. Santa's not coming for another couple months. So any wishes you have will be denied until then. As St. Pauli gets the turnover right at the 18. And the Dortmund defense forced to go to work. So Dortmund looking a little bit shaky when they're on defense. Not quite so confident. Not as tightly knit. As the rain just wants to send a message of its own. So that's going to make things very interesting. But how that ball will slip around or maybe come to a standstill if some puddles start to develop. Now Dortmund manages to get around that press, but Fiver back there for St. Pauli as that's popped up into the air and behind the end line, and Dortmund gets another corner. Now you need two hands to count how many corners Dortmund has had in this contest. Trying to find an opportunity from outside the box. And that ball just took off on him. Samuele Ignazio unable to get the shot on target. Was a part of Dortmund's squad at the Club World Cup this year. Didn't see any action in the US, but still pretty neat to be invited and sit on the bench, get a better than front row view of the biggest club event. And St. Pauli's just trying, whenever they have possession, they tend to just try to get it up quickly and through the air. They really like to try to find Kaba. Haven't been able to find him quite yet, but he's lurking, and Kaba is really hard to miss standing at 1.90 meters, as you see right there, wearing the number 9. So now the mental game comes into effect here too. Can I stand up in this kind of weather, flying into the box? The free kick gets knocked off to the side, and Dortmund gets a goal kick out of it. Not a strong header for the men in whites. So with everything going against you right now, can you stand up to all the pressure, not just from the team that's facing you, but from the weather, as Friese was called upon, and Dortmund's defense struggling to keep up with St. Pauli. And a giveaway at midfield. St. Pauli trying to take advantage. But Dortmund gets back just in time. Tom Faust on the call, and now booted away. And St. Pauli will take their time getting on possession. Knocked ahead. And we've got a whistle as Eroglu was going for the header from outside the box. Dortmund trying to go ahead. 2 in the box for Dortmund. But guess who was right there? Max Stuven. Off the throw-in, St. Pauli gets it back. Trying to go ahead on the near side, but just poked away. And now Dortmund trying to find a way forward. But 2 players from St. Pauli converge on the ball. Kaba tried a long pass of his own. If he can't be forward, someone else will. And that long pass will go well beyond everybody's reach, so that will give a goal kick to Melvin Witte. Off the long goal kick. Dortmund takes possession once more. Drifting back. St. Pauli looking like they're playing like more of a 5-2-3 formation right now. When Dortmund gets on the ball, they let one of the midfielders drop back to make it a 5-man line to stand in front of Witte. Dortmund hasn't quite been able to break through, at least in terms of getting on the board. But they did have one really good opportunity, but Witte managed to make a big save while he was on his back and got some help from the crossbar. So less than 15 minutes before these 2 teams will regroup and refresh and warm up in the locker rooms. Good movement as Dortmund goes into the box. And that is poked out behind the end line. An excellent pass there from Duarte to Ignazio. No chance for a shot from the Italian-Brazilian as 2 players from St. Pauli's defense went right in front of him, but the threat is not over. Off the corner, kept along the ground. Now knocked back out of the 18. 1-on-1 between Ignazio and his defender. And staying with Dortmund, good slip along the end line. And just above everybody's heads. And St. Pauli will get on possession. Cabo with the hopeful sprints, but a little bit too slow as Fueza gets on the ball. Clipping forward, Dortmund once more. 3 in the box now for the black and yellow. At the far corner. Looking for the cross, a mid-range cross. And St. Pauli sniffed it out. Dortmund still putting the pressure on. Now St. Pauli trying to move forward. Trying to go nice and slow, but Dortmund gets in front, fired into the 18, a little bit too far for Ignacio. And Melvin Witte falls on top of the ball. Seen Ignacio get used a few times in some one-on-one opportunities, but just wasn't fast enough to get the poke. Try to sneak one past Witte. As the rain went from a gentle lullaby for your cats and dogs to physical cats and dogs falling down out of the sky. And a mishandled pass there from Najdi gives the ball back to St. Pauli. Throw and taken right in front of the St. Pauli bench as some of the players get ready to warm up. Not expecting anybody to be used in the first half, but allows them to get used to the rain. I think we're going to see quite a lot of that now. Good just down from Fahnhorst to keep things going for Dortmund. Got a runner right into the box, but electing to go to the outside. Kept along the ground. Ignacio on possession, right at the 18. Takes a shot, and that was a good stop there from Melvin Witte. Got called upon towards the near post. But Dortmund gets another corner out of it. Nobody applying any pressure on Ignacio until Asedu Ado decided to come up, but a little bit too late. And the rain is just screaming down at everybody now. You can feel it, you can hear it, you can smell it, you can taste it. Corner kick taken near post, popped up in the air, and St. Pauli comes down with the ball. Gently nudging it forward, and Dortmund manages to regroup themselves. But St. Pauli's still on the move on the near side. I think everybody's going to need a fresh set of clothes. Turning shirts and shorts into wetsuits. And an offside flag goes up. So Dortmund will take control right in front of their 18. So less than 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Certainly Dortmund has had the better opportunities. Right when I say that, St. Pauli got a gift-wrapped chance. Just a big turnover right there. And that shot was just dismal, all things considered. I mean, that's the thing about this cup. You never know who's going to make the big show. And St. Pauli has done it before here, right on this very field 3 years ago. You know, Dortmund has had quite a lot of success at the U19 level, winning 9 U19 championships. And St. Pauli has yet to get any youth hardware, and really almost any hardware for that matter, no matter the level. But it's just something about the cup, no matter the age level, no matter the skill level, all it takes is for one team to believe, and anything can happen, just like this right here. Big development. Kaba on the ball, on the near side, right in front, tries a pass, and it's just sniffed out by Dortmund. Kaba was looking for Wardius on that far post. That was very tantalizing. So St. Pauli putting the pressure on. Now Kaba once more into the box. Tries to switch feet. Trickles towards the end line and behind the line, and it will be a corner for St. Pauli. With just over 5 minutes left in the first half, how big would this be if St. Pauli can get on the board here? And just like I said, all that St. Pauli needs is Kaba to do something in front. Couldn't quite switch the ball over to his right foot. That's his strong foot. But St. Pauli is sticking around with Dortmund. As the free kick goes into the air and right into the midst of Julien Foreza. Dortmund trying to go around the press now, through right down the middle. As the sun starts to come out, we might see a rainbow here in Dortmund. And along inside the 18. And that pass cut out by St. Pauli. Dortmund still deep in the attacking third. Miguel Adja sends it in. He has been involved in every single game. Now Dortmund into the 18, and the shot is blocked in front. And the deflection trickles over to Vita. Popped up in the air, chance for St. Pauli, goes over the keeper, and just misses the far post. St. Pauli really testing Dortmund's defense in all phases and with plenty of ideas. Dortmund looking much stronger when they have the chance to develop an opportunity, and St. Pauli just decides, let's go for it quickly. And Dortmund has been caught napping quite often. Knocked in front and cleared by the St. Pauli defender. 3 minutes left in the first half. Pass intercepted by the men in white. And Dortmund will take their time with possession. Kite involved in the block. And Wardius did beat the keeper, but couldn't keep it inside the woodwork. Take another look at this from Wardius. Took it first touch. Decided to go for it as Forza was off his line. And Forza was just big enough, made himself just big enough to give Wardius a lot of trouble. Flinged forward off the throw-in. And Kaba unable to keep possession. Now back to the keeper, had a St. Pauli player right in front of him. Now Dortmund looking for the opener with less than 90 seconds left here in the first half. Now on the far side. Now coming closer to the near side, Najdi. Getting pushed back by a couple of St. Pauli defenders. Now the black and yellow managing to get into the box. And Duarte was right there. Just needed one more touch and he could have gotten a good shot off. Managed to weave his way through the forest. Just needed one more touch towards goal. And that would have made Vita be the hero or the villain. Dortmund getting back on that second ball. Less than 10 seconds here in the first half. How monumental it would be to get a goal here. Now into stoppage time. Fired into the air, knocked down into the box. Under control in front of the end line. Dortmund still in control. And now St. Pauli gets on the ball. Sprinting the other way. 3 players for St. Pauli in front. And Dortmund's defense clamps down right at the end of the first half. And we will go into the locker rooms goalless. But not for a lack of trying. Back and forth action here in Dortmund. No goals in the first 45, but you know, if we had something like this in the first 45, we're going to have quite a lot to talk about in the second half. And welcome back to Dortmund. The sun is back out after a very slick, very rainy first half. We'll see if things will clear up for either side. Nobody getting on the score sheet yet, but that's certainly not for a lack of efforts. Both teams with quite a few opportunities in front of goal. Dortmund with the majority of opportunities, but St. Pauli has certainly brought the firepower as well. Made a couple substitutions for Dortmund. Once those come up, we will give them to you. But the big name that's out on the field right now for Dortmund is Mathis Alberts, coming from the U.S. Played in every single match this year. This is actually the first time he wasn't in the starting 11 this year. Scored 9 goals already, 5 in the last 4. And he has had at least 1 goal and assist in the domestic league, the UEFA Youth League, and the Cup. So you just know that if there's anybody who Dortmund can depend upon to move them ahead, it's certainly Mathis Albert. He's certainly attracted some attention. In fact, Transfermarkt has said that he's actually heading to the B squad for the seniors in just a few months' time. And here comes Albert on his first touch of the match along the end line. And the low cross is pushed aside by St. Pauli. So that's Riedel who's on the ball. He's the other substitute for Dortmund who came on right before the second half got started. As St. Pauli has tried to put some pressure on here, getting the ball back after the ball slipped out of bounds. But with some pace, streaking along the near side, now has to give it off, but gets it right back, going into the 18, skips it up to the top of the box, and the attempted long shot from Benkata gets pushed back all the way to the midfield stripe, and the ball will go all the way back to Freza in front of his own goal. Mathis Albert, I mean, he's only been on, he hasn't even been on for 5 minutes, but he has certainly made his presence felt, as the long pass is good, but Ignazio was a little bit too quick to sneak past the line, so that will be an offside against Dortmund's number 10. Albert, and he just can't get past his defender. A couple miscues there from Dortmund's number 11. But all eyes are going to be on him, as Lido needs a little bit more time to tie his shoes. And he's back up. He's just fine as we get back underway. Perhaps the grass starting to dry out a little bit after the driving force of the rain from above. The ever-changing conditions here can certainly change things up for these two teams. St. Pauli really likes to work quickly. No need for any build-up, no need to overthink things, just fire ahead and go like this. Just a little bit too far for Kaba. Good work from Dortmund in their defensive half, but a lovely touch. Just gets past the defender, but a little bit too far, and Vita puts his right foot to the ball. Excellent stuff there from Aja. But given away by Dortmund. This is where Dortmund is at their weakest off the quick turnover. But that was read very well. But a little bit too close for comfort for the referee, and Fahnhorst gives St. Pauli the foul. As you saw on the other side, Dortmund employing some of St. Pauli's tactics now. Trying to go quickly through the air on a long ball and off the free kick. Taken care of by the Dortmund defense. Kaba comes down with the ball. And screen towards goal. Well over everybody's heads and right into Ferrezi. A little slow on the mental game for St. Pauli, and now Dortmund going forward. Albert trying to get past, keeps it along the ground, and just puts a foot in front. Kaba sprinting the other way, applying the pressure on the long ball from St. Pauli's defense. Man, Kaba is just absolutely everywhere. Just seems to be a magnet for the ball, as is Albert. Just clobbering his defender onto the ground. Gets right back up, though. And a little pensive from Riedel. Gives the ball back to St. Pauli. That could have been called a foul against Riedel. But the ref kept his whistle in his pocket. That will draw the whistle out. As Tom Faust hit the deck. Tried to get past Hermann and did. And then Grabovac just came in and knocked him down. So that will be it for Schmidtner today. As St. Pauli sends on their first substitute. Looks like they're going for more offense. as the winger Kwasi comes on. So Faust on the ball, three-man wall for St. Pauli. Faust keeps it along the ground, and the shot is deflected over the bar, and it will be a goal kick for St. Pauli, but a very good idea nonetheless. Might not have found the back of the net, might not have found the net at all, but forced everybody in St. Pauli to jump along that wall. And good bring down and a good turn. But the pressure on Ignazio was a little too much for him. So Dortmund does have some ideas and some tricks up their sleeve. But St. Pauli has been ready for each and every one of them. Meanwhile, Dortmund's Freuze has been beaten before, but he was fortunate that the shot that went over his head also went too far on the far side. So over 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Neither side really giving much for the other side to work with. Now flicked ahead, and that is an offside call. A little bit too far forward, Jack Wardius. But he's going to be someone that Borussia Dortmund has to look out for. Already scored 5 goals this season. And you see he's well behind the last defender. But St. Pauli applying the pressure again, not letting up outside the 18. Remember, St. Pauli did come in here 3 years ago and came away with the victory in the cup. The exact same cup that they're playing right now. And this is cup play, not league play. So we will have a winner and we will have a loser before we go home. See some of the other St. Pauli youngsters out there. Everybody bundled up, getting ready for the temperatures to fall down, the sun to go down earlier, come up later. Enjoying the last little bit of sunshine before the big gray cloud of autumn and winter descends upon us. So it's forced all the way back to Freuze. Not a great clear. Still very much in the danger zone. St. Pauli unable to get any more pressure as we have another whistle and a stoppage, and that will be a free kick for Dortmund. Dortmund trying to go forward, just kept in right along the line for the black and yellow. On the far side, along the end line, skipping in front, was looking for Ignazio, not quite there though. But Dortmund still on the attack. Ignazio trying across this time, deflected, goalkeeper unable to clear it, and it will be a corner, but Dortmund wanted a penalty. As that ball was tantalizingly close to a few players in white. That just hovered in the air for a few seconds. So now Dortmund ready to take the corner. Low in front towards the near post, and Dortmund will have to retreat temporarily. Sina on the ball. Now Albert. Skips inside into the 18, tries a shot with the right foot. And it's deflected by a defender. It's going to stay on this side of the field. Another corner for Dortmund on the other flag, though. And the wind really starting to pick up. Gale wind warning throughout the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. You could see it whipping the shirts and shorts and in the trees just outside the stadium. As Vonhost gets the corner kick taken short. Dortmund electing to play possession here. Along the ground inside the 18, skipped in front. And Witte is right there, falls on top of the ball. And Tom Faust needs to do better in order to give his side the win. St. Pauli gets in front of that ball. Ooh, that was close. Jack Wardius was sprinting ahead. If that pass had been a little bit more under control, it would have been him versus Proeza. You get the feeling that it's just going to take one big slip up to really decide this match. Both sides pretty even. Both sides haven't played 100% cleanly, though. Certainly have been some errors for both teams. And Wardius applying the pressure once more, just checking in. Just telling everybody in black and yellow, you better look out for me. Albert moving in a good spin. Second spin, not quite there, but a little bit too much from Aceduado. Now Dortmund's trying to find some rhythm on the far side. And St. Pauli gets in front and pushes the black and yellow back to the other side of the halfway stripe. I mean, Dortmund has really found their rhythm, and as long as the ball stays on this side of the field, they should feel comfortable and confident. As that ball did go to the other side of the line. And it will be a throw-in for St. Pauli. Almost some highlight reel footwork. But either way, Felix Hirschnagel will certainly be giving him some praise. Interception, and Dortmund goes on the move. Well, Albert's pass needed to be clean. Otherwise, that would have been a really big opportunity for Dortmund. Just needed to be a little bit cleaner from Dortmund's number 11. And we've got another whistle, and we're going to go the other way, an illegal throw-in. The second time that Konopatski has called that. As you see on the bottom left of your screen. Well, Not sure what was illegal about that. Oh, I guess it was because both legs were together. I guess they're going to do it again, actually. And another whistle. And this time Dortmund will get the free kick. I guess it's actually not an illegal throw-in. It was more pushing and shoving around the ball. Because I was just saying, like, that, they would have blown the whistle if that was an illegal throw-in. They would have done it earlier. And that one clearly out of bounds, and Nazio running out of real estate. Knocked ahead and knocked to the ground. Jack Wardius drawing the free kick. And Wardius goes over to talk with the coach, Heiko Knispel. Knispel, 34 years old. A Hamburg man through and through, born there and now coaching one of the big clubs in the Hanseatic city. Off the free kick, right in front, chested down, but a little bit too much on the chest. And Faust clears it away temporarily. Sky towards the box, headed to the right side, and brought down by St. Pauli. Jack Wardius trying to sneak around, and he gets called for a foul, and he can't believe it. Pretty good buildup for Wardius. But now Dortmund on the move. Screaming ahead in Nazio. Let's check one more time to see if Wardius did anything illegal. Oh, right there. The elbow right on his defender's face. Miguel Agia reacting quickly. And that's a pretty fair reaction right there, getting knocked in the face like that as Dortmund sends out Degna onto the field. So Tim Degna comes out for Dortmund. And yellow card is shown to St. Pauli's Max Stuven. Just right there, a little bit too much from St. Pauli's number 19, right on Tom Faust. So Vita there in goal on the left side of your screen. Everybody else standing right on the line at the 18-yard box. Two-man wall for St. Pauli. Fired in right towards the penalty spots, and we've got a whistle, and Konopatski reaches into his pocket for the yellow card. And he shows it right at Degna, who just came on just a couple minutes ago. So we're going to redo this free kick. Konopatski just making certain that everything is copacetic, everyone's good to go. One more chance, this one right in between the two players on the wall, and St. Pauli really stretched there to get the ball out of the danger zone. Now the men in white charging forward down the near side. And an offside is called against Jack Wardius. But Wardius was sprinting ahead. He didn't see the flag. He didn't hear a whistle. See Wardius right there. I, to me, from this vantage point, he looked onside to me. But the referee was right down along the sideline, so we have to go with his call and not mine. So another whistle and another foul. Kaba a little too rough on that last play as the rain starts to come down once again. We had sun, wind, and rain. All we need is some snow and ice, and we've got all the elements together to create the avatar. Where's Aang when you need him? Or Ong, if you remember that god-awful movie. Oh. Yes, I still have nightmares over a children's movie from 2010. That's how bad that movie was. And I normally love bad movies, but this wasn't so bad it was good. It was just a bad, bad, bad movie as Dortmund goes into the box and just stopped there by Vita's left foot. Samuele Ignazio getting involved once more. Just managed to break past St. Pauli's back line. But Vita won that one-on-one. Now St. Pauli on the other side of the field. And Dortmund gets on top of possession. And it is knocked out deliberately. As we've got an injured St. Pauli player. That is the center forward, Kaba. Looks like he's just cramping up. Hate to use the word just when someone's cramping up, because if you've cramped up before, you know how that feels as we get the replay of Ignazio's attempt all by himself. But he was just a little bit too close, right on the edge of that 6-yard box, when he was able to get the shot off. But now with Kaba cramping up, it might force Knispel to use another substitute. Well, Kaba gets back to his feet. We'll see if St. Pauli switches him out with another forward. They've got two left in Ibrahimovic and Oro Bangna. And Oro Bangna will come out for St. Pauli. Looks like Kaba's day is done. And they also sent out another midfielder at the same time. That is Amanyampong. So a couple of substitutions for St. Pauli. Trying to pull off a big win here on the road in the second round of the U19 German Cup. Skipped along on the ground, back to the keeper, who fires it forward. Intercepted by Dortmund. They've had the majority of chances here in the second half. And Ignazio and Albert are just itching to get on the board. And not pesky St. Pauli back up north. St. Pauli playing Never Say Die. Dortmund wants to play some death metal. Final 15 minutes of the second half. Underway in St. Pauli. Fighting for possession. And we've got a whistle and a stoppage of play as a St. Pauli forward is down on the ground. And Aja is calling for someone to come out and help him. And that's Jack Wardius hitting the deck again. And he's also cramping up, just like Kaba did a couple minutes ago. So with the opportunity now for Dortmund to think about what they want to do, the heavens have opened up once more, and a deluge of rain is back here in Dortmund. Well, if you're not undercover, be it from a waterproof jacket or a roof, just about everything about you is going to be soaked. As you see once more, Jack Wardius just taking an awkward spill. So that might not actually be cramping. Took a hard spill on his ankles, but he's able to jog off the field under his own power. So that's a very good sign for St. Pauli's number 23. Back on the field as the rain keeps falling down. Off the free kick, and Dortmund goes the other way. St. Pauli unable to get a shot on target or take a shot at all there. Dortmund keeping pressure going. And some miscues there for St. Pauli. Gives Dortmund possession, fired towards the net, and Vita was right there with the safe set of hands. And stepped in front, and Dortmund comes away with possession. Albert into the box. Keeps it along the ground. It's Faust. And the pass was not quite there, but Dortmund continues maintaining control. 79th minute in Dortmund. Rain letting up. Dortmund not, though. Towards the edge of the box, and it is a penalty kick for the BVB. A massive, massive moment for the home side. And that might put Dortmund on top with a shot from 11 meters away. Enzo Duarte drew the contact as you see him get possession right there. And he was right on the edge of the box. Ball was inside the box. But Duarte was clearly inside the 18. And that puts Dortmund 11 meters away from a potential victory and a date in the round of 16. So Ignacio is on the ball. Likes to shoot with the right foot. With a chance to put his side in the round of 16. Up he comes and into the back of the net. Very clear, very easy, as you like. Vito went to his right. Ignacio went to his right. And that was about as easy a penalty as Ignacio could take. And Dortmund gets the big goal with just over 10 minutes left. Just look at Ignacio. Just put his hands on his hips. He knew exactly what he wanted to do before he was called to come up for the penalty. And so now St. Pauli will take off a couple players. In fact, they're going to take off 3. as Knispel is ready to put everyone forward for the final 10 minutes. So 3 substitutes coming on for St. Pauli, including Fagir Afghani, Ibrahimovic, and Hücker. So no more substitutions available for St. Pauli. Down by a goal. They need to make something happen in the final 10 minutes. So if you're St. Pauli, hero time starts now. As the ball was clearly inside the 18. Duarte had his right foot on the line and was clearly moving inside the 18 when the contact came. And that's what took him down, but Dortmund up on the board. Now slip back. St. Pauli applying the pressure, getting the turnover. Now Farizi keeping it along the ground, and you bet St. Pauli is going to be putting the pedal to the metal in the attacking half. Throw in right in front of the bench area. Now St. Pauli really likes to strike quick. But this opportunity here, this throw-in won't allow them to go very quickly, not very fast. They really like to catch Dortmund off guard. And it's nearly worked a couple of times. But now with less than 8 minutes to go, they just need to put shots on target. Now Dortmund heading the other way. Degna getting involved. And booted to the other side of the field. Just kept in. Well done, Albert. And that's why you get the fresh set of legs as Albert comes up streaking, as are some of his friends into the 18. Knocked away by the keeper, and the second chance is trickled into the back of the net. Tim Degna turned that shot into the back of the net, turned it into what looked like a pass just along the ground. And St. Pauli, all they could do was just stand and watch and hope someone else picked up what was going on. But it was too late for anyone in whites. And Dortmund doubles their lead with 7 minutes left. Well, this was exactly what St. Pauli wanted to do on the other side of the field. Attack fast, attack quickly. As you see, Degna just kept it along the ground, saw Ali right in front of him. And no one wearing white knew what to do with that trickling ball as it skipped its way into the back of the net. And Dortmund is now just over 6 minutes away from making the round of 16. Yeah, that guy is pretty happy getting the insurance goal. Substitutes can do some pretty amazing things, huh? Now remember, St. Pauli is out of substitutions. So this would be very challenging for them if Bletterman could not return. And the St. Pauli fans who made the trip down from Hamburg shouting out for their team, showing they still believe. But down by 2 with 5 minutes left. All that support might be for naught. Well, you have to give St. Pauli credit. They hung tough with Dortmund, one of the best teams in Germany right now at the U19 level. They hung with them for 80 minutes. Even though they have a plus 18 goal differential and have only lost in the UEFA Youth League play. As Dortmund gets ready to send on a couple of substitutes. Zarkalain and Etsibasi comes on. So Etsibasi coming on for Mirza. And Zarkalain as well for the black and yellow. But they can't completely switch off yet. Rain coming down with the sun shining as well. So a rainbow is out there in Dortmund, and one end is right here as Dortmund found goal twice here in the final 10 minutes of the second half. So Vitsa has to just fire it forward. Can't think about whether it's pretty or not. You just have to go, go, go in this situation. Kept along the ground, St. Pauli sprinting ahead. But Dortmund clearing the danger, out for a throw-in. Throw-in fired into the 18, bounced in front. And Julian Freuze falls on the ball. Just a little bit too far in front for the St. Pauli forwards. Making up about half the players out there on the field now for the men in white. But now Dortmund just has to play possession, and they will move on. They will get the win. Took a little longer than they wanted to get the goals, to get some breathing room. But when it comes to the cup, a win is a win. Doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter how dramatic. You take the wins in any way they can come. Scooted out of the 18. Skipping along on the ground, right in front of the bench area. Just kept in. Play continues. Final minute of regular time. Stoppage time upcoming. Into the 18, chance for a third goal for Dortmund! And just a little bit too far past the far post. But not a bad idea, not a bad effort there from Sena. Still looking for that first goal this year. Looks like he might have actually been looking for Albert. Ball going into the box once more. Dortmund electing to play for possession now. And the 90 minutes are up. Just waiting for how much stoppage time we'll have. Looks like we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time here in Dortmund. So 4 minutes for St. Pauli to score 2 goals. And if the ball is going to stay on this side of the field, all that St. Pauli can do is just keep Dortmund from getting a third. But Dortmund is playing nice and cool. Not screaming for a third goal, but they will certainly take it if they can get it. Two-man wall for St. Pauli on the far side for this free kick. Faust fires it into the box, and St. Pauli was there and ready for it. And the referee, Konopatski, wants a re-kick as it wasn't set and stopped clearly. And there it is right there, not in the proper area. So that wastes another 10-15 seconds for St. Pauli. They just had those mental miscues right at the end. Still a big gap in the wealth of class between these two clubs. So less than 2 minutes until St. Pauli's run in the cup comes to an end. But you still have to give applause to the men in white. Pushed Dortmund as far as they could. Kept things level for 80-plus minutes. Had a few moments where it looked like they were ready to take the lead. But they just couldn't hold out for the full 90 minutes. I mean, it's going to be a very, very long trip back to Hamburg, especially in those wet clothes. But still plenty to be proud of, but plenty to think about, and plenty to discuss and improve upon for the rest of the season. St. Pauli still in 4th place in Group A, but Borussia Dortmund, a force to be reckoned with. Number 1 in Group H. And they have yet to lose in domestic play. Lost just for the first time this season on Wednesday to Juventus. But an excellent job from Borussia Dortmund in the end. And they will take the 2-0 win and celebrate going on to the round of 16 with those 2 late goals at the end. Dortmund is moving on, and St. Pauli has a long bus ride back up north. So the big penalty goal for Ignacio separated Dortmund from St. Pauli, and then the substitute Degna stepped up and just pushed one into the back of the net, an easy trickler that no one from St. Pauli could react to. And Dortmund, in the end, cruises to the round of 16 with a 2-0 victory at home. So we hope you enjoyed today's match as much as we did here in the booth. And until we meet again for some more German football, I'm Kai Dambach. And as the great philosophers Bill and Ted once said, be excellent to each other. So long and goodbye from a sunny yet wet Dortmund.